Spartans! What is your profession? This is Sparta!
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another stream into another arena. Of course, let's get the fun part out of the way. Like I always say, do me a favor. Seriously, I want you to do me a solid favor. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. Recommend it to your friends. Tell them come in. Say hi. Say yo. Say what up. Say what's up. Say hi. Anyway, let me ask everybody a serious question for a minute. Has anybody stopped and think about their fathers, their uncles, any other man in their life, and said, "Damn, that's a hard-working motherfucker"? Has anybody sit there and stop and thought about it for 1 minute? I remember my father used to work like a dog. I mean like a dog. Hours on end. And he never complained about it. Never said, I need a vacation. Never like that. Not like me. I always complain about I'm working too many hours. I need a vacation. Shush. But seriously, that old mentality has gone away. We don't have the mentality anymore to say, yes, we work hard. What happened to it? That's what I keep asking everybody. What happened to the old mentality of those days? I feel like they're gone. They died out. And are they ever going to come back? That's the biggest question I have at this moment. And I don't think they ever will. It's going to be very hard. I think we're at a point in our lives like, yes, we will still work hard. Yes, we still do this, but with what price? With what sacrifice? That is the question. Are we willing to make the sacrifice to do X, Y, and Z? Are we willing to do that? And that is part of the problem, I think. It's like a season. You have good seasons and bad seasons. And in those seasons, you have to build a backbone. Build a foundation. build the roots in the tree. When you establish those roots grown in, is where you finally become the man you want to be. But the biggest question we're going to start out with is, which route do you want to take your life in? Do you want to take your life into a hard back-end work or a computer desk job? Both are back-breaking work. Don't get me wrong. They both are in their own way. But when are they enough? When are you going to say, it's time? When are you going to say, you know what? Time to make some sacrifice to get my dreams come true. To accomplish what you want, there are always some type of sacrifice. That's one thing I learned. And it's not the greatest sometimes. Sometimes you have to. Sucks when you do. You're gonna miss birthday parties, you're gonna miss anniversaries, you're gonna miss time to go out hang out with your friends, you're gonna miss a lot of things. But how often are you willing to miss those things? I know a kid I used to work with. He had potential. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. A lot of potential. And my problem with him was laziness. And he's talking about how good he always was. You know, this and that. Alright, cool. And he had. I'm not gonna take that away from him. Busting his ass, all this stuff. But I keep looking at him, I'm like, alright, dude. But you're talking about how good you are. Prove me you're good. But he never did. You only can work only this hours. Okay, but if you want to be top dog, like you keep saying, you have to make the sacrifices for now to become top dog, and then you can demand what you want. That's the problem. You coming in at any workforce, I don't care where you come from, how you do it, whatever. If you are not willing to put the time and effort or learn respect from your team members, you're not even doing anything. You're wasting time. You got to put time and effort. You got to put the energy in it. You got to do all that stuff. And if you don't, you demand respect. Yeah, okay. I worked with a person recently. Can't say names. And great guy. I have nothing against him personally. I can't really say great guy because I didn't work with him that long. Can't say he was a bad guy, good guy. From what I got, decent. Because I was with him a very small period of time. He came in demanding respect because he was higher up than me. Okay, in my team. Okay, cool. I'll give you the respect, but you have to earn that too. But the problem is, he was never there. First time he was out for sickness for almost 3 weeks, I think was it. And then he was out again for another 3 weeks. Then my boss had to can his ass. So you did what? You want respect, but you're never there. Doesn't work like that. You gotta prove it. And that's a problem where our new generation coming up. They don't have that work ethic anymore. They don't have the go get attitude. They never do. I keep talking to young men and women, and some things that might be changing around here and there. So when we do change things around, the schedule have to change around a little bit. That's how, if you change it, I would say you open earlier in the kitchen. Let's get people have come home earlier. So first things he said to me, like, I am not coming fucking in early. They can kiss my fucking ass. I'm like, seriously? And you want to be somebody. That is the problem. You want to prove somebody something. I always tell people, when you're working hard, you're building a story. The story is up to you. How do you want to build a story? Simple. You need to know when you want to build it, how you want to build it. You need the story, an idea in your head. Like George Lucas. Let's use Star Wars, for example. He had this idea in his head. He put it on paper. Now, from that paper, he had to get it on screen. To execute his vision took a lot of work. You guys can remember also back then, independent movies like that, they weren't okay, come on. You had to follow a guideline. He didn't follow the guideline. He broke the guideline. And that's also why we have Star Wars now. One of the best series ever. Whew. Excuse me. So that is a big thing. Building and grinding. You have to be better than the next person. Better than the last person. I'm not saying you're going to have your moments, be tired, cranky, moody, attitude. But you have to do better. One thing I don't like at all personally with hard work, when other people take your hard work and they say they did it. So I was working in another kitchen one time. Alaska Pizza, actually, in East Strasburg. It was a decent job. I wasn't there long. So I realized the guys, except the head chef, they have a lot of experience. Nothing wrong with that. We can teach them. Cool. Turns around and goes to me, shit, we're out of fish. I'm okay. Defrost it. How you do that? Oh, very simple. Tell them the steps. 1, 2, 3. Fish takes 45 minutes tops if you do it correctly. So he turns around to our supervisor. He goes, yeah, I thought I'm going to be able to do this. I think this is the right way to do it. Am I right? Yeah, yeah. He goes, yeah, you're right. I looked around like, you son of a bitch. And that was my plan and my idea. Well, I don't care if I'm the new guy or the old guy. What I do care was, how about you? He should have went to, hey, with vanished fish, P stepped up. You know, this what he said. I don't know if he's right or wrong. That's what he's do it. But he didn't. And that is the problem. The motivation to do the right thing is also a big thing with me. So, turn that off a minute. Don't need a big echo in the background. Let's talk about motivation for a second. What does motivate you to work harder and longer hours and everything? Let's be straight up here, guys. Let's stop bullshitting. Let's be honest here. Let's straight up. Me go to Mara. If it goes like that. What motivates you? Some people say take care of your family. Some people say because I do it for my mother, for your kids. That's bullshit. All that's bullshit. It goes out the window. It's money. If you sit here and tell me, oh, I don't do it for money, you're fucking lying to me right in my fucking face. Everybody does it for money, end of the day. If you don't do money, why do you get a paycheck? It's always about money. Because money involves everything. Listen, I like nice things like everybody else. I have my Apple Watch. I have this computer. I got an 85-inch TV over there. AirPods, whatever. But what do you need to get all that stuff? It goes back to money. To get a nice car, you're going to have a loan. Okay. What do you need to pay the loan? Money. You see where I'm going with this, guys? So what should motivate you guys? Or me or anybody? Money. Simple. And nothing wrong with that. But it's a lot of things you need to keep your head above water. And there's always that time you're going to feel like you're drowning. You're going to have the time to be solitude. You stay out of that. You stay away from that. Because solitude, we're not meant to be by ourselves. You keep your head up and going. The times you just want to relax and watch TV. I'm not denying that. About solitude by yourself one-on-one? No. We're not meant for that. What we are meant to is be a provider, a protector, a hardworking person. Alright. Let's use heroes, for example. Let's use The Rock. Great example. I don't care how you like him. Doesn't matter. But one thing you cannot take away from that guy is hard work. He has worked his ass off time and time again. He has not given up. He has not stopped. He will grind to the end. That's how hard working the guy is. He will bust his ass. He won't stop till he get what he wants. So the story I do know is, I'm trying to think how to put this correctly. It's about how work. Hang on, guys. Now give me a second to get the first guest in here because I want him hanging out in the back because I know he's ready. He's pumped. I can see him in the back, ready, jumping up and down. Dre, my man, what is going on? Can you hear me? No,
Can you
no.
hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Go back in. Come back in.
Hello?
Yep. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can hear you.
All right. Can you go back in and come back in? Let me do one thing here because
So I can come back in?
yes, try that.
Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me now?
I'm gonna go out and come right back in.
Okay. Technology. I love OBS. Sometimes they're a pain in the fucking ass to use a goddamn thing. It fights me tooth and nail some days. Can't fucking win sometimes. What the hell was I saying until he gets back in here? I was trying to think. Shit. Trying to think what I was going to say. Shit. Alright, here he is. Let me get him back in. Alright, give me 1 second. Get you back in, man.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Give me 1 second.
Hello?
Alright, Trey, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Damn. I can't hear nothing you saying. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you fine. It's not on my end.
My mic's on. Every time I speak, it turns green. But I can't hear you at all.
I don't know why. It should be fine on my side. I can hear you completely fine. Alright, let's try to reload this one more time. See if that fixes the problem. I doubt it, but let's try. Any luck yet? Nothing?
My volume's all the way up.
I have no idea if it's not fine on my side. So
Okay. Can you hear me now?
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
I got you.
What was it? You had the mute on, didn't you?
Well, it connects. I had my speakerphone. The volume was up, but it was coming through, I guess, the audio, the music. The volume where I play the volume button for my music, I have to turn that up. I don't know why it was down. I always playing music, but yeah, I think it's fixed now.
Okay. So
I just want to jump over here, man, and dig into some of this interesting manhood that you go into.
all right, I'll take it. So let me ask you a question. Before we get into when you hear hardworking man, what's the first thing comes to your mind?
Are you talking individual or just the characteristics of that man?
Both.
When I think of hardworking, I had a good example in both my parents, particularly my father. My mother worked at General Electric and my father worked at Hildreth and Brasby, which is Louisville Slugger. So he worked there 35 years, he invented a machine there at the Louisville Slugger Museum, which is now the museum.
Mm-hmm.
So I got that example, and the way he taught me hard work was he had bought our first lawnmower. We had a yard, front yard and backyard. He said, I'm going to teach you how to cut the grass today. I was about, 12, 11, 12. I'm like, cool, I'm going to watch my daddy cut grass. His ass said, and my daddy, he was a military guy, didn't joke a lot, didn't give you a whole lot. He said, okay, I'm going to teach you how to cut grass. He said, okay, first of all, you got to prime it right here. And I'm looking at him like, okay, you going to punch the button? He said, and he called me knucklehead, punch the button. I'm like, I thought I was going to watch you. He's like, no, I'm going to show you. So he said, prime. He said, punch that little black button, the little, I guess, I don't know what it's called, a little primer. He said, punch it 10 times. I'm like, okay, yeah. He said, then grab the handle and pull the string. First time I pulled it, I ain't thinking I got to pull it with some force. I'm like, oh, man, it ain't moving. He said, God damn it, pull it harder. So I grabbed it, I pulled it. It started up. He said, now go ahead and start walking back and forth with it. I'm like, what you mean? He said, walk down there, turn around and come back. I did it one time. He said, now see, you know how to cut the grass. Now cut this whole yard right here, cut the side right here, cut the back, do all that. I'm like, what the hell? He said, yeah, I told you I was going to show you how to cut the grass. So, but what he did was, once he showed me how to cut grass, and of course I didn't want to do it, he interfered with my playing time. I started to understand what work meant, because that was the first time I really had to work. And from that point on, I was cutting the neighborhood grass 2 or 3 blocks old. I used to walk around. I used to see people, hey, you need your grass cut. I was doing that at 12, 13, had my little gas can, had my little rake. And I saw my parents working, and I learned how to cut hair at age 14. I self-taught my hair. I knew how to shape up, line up. I even do this my own self. I use a straight razor on my face, to get my beard and mustache, but I shaved, and I've been doing it since I was 14, and I learned how to work on cars. I can work on my house. I've always took pride in being able to work Even when I was working with helping people, I always wanted to get the best results and give them the best information to see them, you know, have the best outcome. So I took hard work very serious. I took my profession very serious. And I learned, different techniques along the way, and the ones that work, I used them till I stopped working. And, I think it's important, especially for a man, a young boy, to learn the importance of hard work. And hard work don't necessarily have to be physical work. Hard work can mean you do your fucking best in school. You learn your math. You learn how to spell. You learn how to read. You learn how to write. Understand social norms, social shifts. That's hard work. You understand it in your position that you are. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't have, I can't have an unrealistic expectation as a 14-year-old to hard work. Okay, hard work is cleaning, keeping your fucking room clean, doing the best in school, taking care of the chores of your responsibility. That's hard work to me. And as you get older, of course, you learn skills that could help you within a job. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me. I've always wanted to be a part of learning new stuff. And at times it's been to a fault, because I don't mind sharing information that I learned to put me in a better space with other people. But not everybody's receptive to it. Not everybody wants to put in the work.
So I agree with what you're saying there with the hard work about learning.
Yeah.
So as young as I can remember, there are a couple of channels that always fascinated me when I had cable. I haven't had cable in years, by the way. Those two channels that fascinated me was Discovery Channel and History Channel.
Yeah.
Do you know why, Trey?
Why those two channels that you enjoyed the most?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would think that Discovery Channel allowed you to learn new things, and the History Channel allowed you to learn how things may have originated, and how to, the process of certain, machines and, things that we take for granted today in our modern society: cars, computers, robotics, refrigerators. I love that stuff too. So
Yeah, that's the biggest reason. I love history. Put me in front of the TV, give me a nice, good, old school documentary about Greece, or Vikings, or Roman Empire, samurais. I can go on and on for hours. I am glued to that TV. I will not leave that TV till the documentary's over. Now it comes down to Discovery. Where should I start? Where should I end? It isn't a point on that channel. Used to be, at least. Not anymore. Now it's more a show TV. I don't know what you want to call it anymore. But back when I was watching it, it was all about learning, building things, discovering things, and it fascinated me. And here's a funny story, fun fact with my dad. My dad was walked into the room one day, and I was watching Discovery, and it was a daily catch, crab fishing they were doing. And he goes, "Oh shit!" And he goes, "I know you watch this. Yeah. I enjoy it." Like, he goes, I don't know if I ever told you, this is how I came to the country. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, when I came to the country, I had to sneak in. This is before everything goes to me. I'm like, you're illegal? Like, unfortunately, at some point I was. He goes to me. And the way he got in was through the crab fishing boats back then. He needed a job. He needed something to pay really well, because he wanted to send the money back to Greece to his mom and sister. And he doesn't know. The only thing he knew is being on a ship at the time. And back then, it wasn't a deckhand and a mechanic. It was mechanic of one thing, cooks on one thing, and deckhands one thing. This is when the big boom happened. So he was a mechanic on a daily catch. The fishing boats. And when he heard Phil died, he was really upset, because he actually knew of him. So I thought that's pretty interesting. And anybody who works that kind of field, fishing, that is back-breaking work. Not hard work, back-breaking work. Things are hurting and cramping up, things that you didn't even know you had. That's how hardcore my dad told me it was. My hard work came from my father, to be honest with you, because he always worked 60, 70, 80 hours a week, It was like nothing. He never complained about it. The only time he really ever complained was when he couldn't catch up the bills and how many hours he couldn't put enough hours in a day because only so much hours in a day. But he did tell me one thing once. Yeah, I know he was probably kidding. I never really asked him about this. I should. And I asked him once for $5. The first comment he came out of his mouth was, "You and your mother always want money out of me." Really? I was 12 years old. Guess what I fucking did the next day, my man? I went and got a job the next day.
Yeah.
Yep, and it was off the books, of course. I'm 12 years old. So my mom didn't know what the hell was going on. And I came home one day with a smile on my face. I walked into a diner. I knew Greeks were there. I asked them, in Greek, I pretty much spoke to him, "Hey, I'm looking for a job." He goes, "How old are you?" 12. "So what?" He goes, "Do you know anything?" Like, "Nope." He goes, "You're hired." Like, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Come back tomorrow with a white shirt, black pants, and black shoes. I go, "Okay." And my mom dropped her mouth like, "You really got a job?"
What your first job was? What was your first job?
A busboy, cleaning tables.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, that was one of my early jobs. That was cool.
And it was literally tips. That's all you making money off, tips. You don't get paid by the restaurant. You get paid by the servers. And I learned really fast. If the server tipped well, you clean the tables faster. Because faster you clean their tables, more customers they get, and more money you make. Oh, ding! Lights came on. So I learned very fast in that restaurant, in that business. I was there for a while. I went from a busboy to a server, to a host, to assistant manager. And that was through my junior high all the way to my high school career, up to 11th grade. And I remember people like looking at me like I had the nice car, I had nice shoes, nice everything always. Like, "Man, your parents are rich." Like, nope, they're not rich. I work for this shit. What do you mean you work for this shit? I busted my ass and I have a job and I did it. Simple. And people could not believe it. But again, I busted my ass. Keyword. So that was actually supposed to be my first question of the night. Is honest, your highest memory of being hardworking men is. But I think we both answered that one already. So let's get to the next one. How do we define, in your own opinion, the value and beliefs in a hardworking person? Sure, you heard me? To Trey Kids back in our show, let's officially announce our unofficial cheerleader in the house. Let's give her a round of applause.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me, man? Can you hear me? I'm here, dude. I feel like the AT&T commercial today. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? 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 Alright. Trey, you back?
Well, folks.
Alright. I have no idea what he's doing, but he's doing something. Alright, you can hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. I was just sitting outside under my deck. Can you hear me?
Alright, yes, I can hear. Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Alright, did you listen to my last question?
I didn't hear the last statement that you made.
Okay, so my question is, how do you define a hardworking man with values and beliefs? In your own opinion, how would you put those in words?
Just someone who, understand his responsibility to himself and to his family and to the community. Because when a man works, it brings a sense of pride. I know I've always had a sense of pride since I learned how to cut hair and work on cars and, work around the house, putting stuff together, building shelves for my garage. I've always took a sense of pride in that, so I think it's important, I even, with my sons, man, I used to, like, I don't work around teenagers. Let me just tell you that. Yeah, teenagers, I don't do no work. I'll let them do everything. Well, I ain't gonna say I'll let them. I'll just guide them to do everything. I'll show them wherever they feel like they lacking. I'll help them work it through it. But the project will get done when they complete it. So if I have 2 or 3, you're gonna work as a team. The best reader go read it out loud. The other 2 go follow the directions and putting stuff together, like just moving stuff, hauling stuff, all that. That's young folk work. That's not I'm supervisor. That's just like you have your shoe self. You know what I'm saying? You expect for them to follow your directions and they argue with you on how to do shit and they don't have the experience. But I just stay, I always use that model. I don't go away from it. But what I've learned to do is give the expectation before we start and ask for feedback about the expectation. I work with a lot of youth. I've done a lot of coaching and mentoring and counseling and family meetings and staff meetings and, talking to generals and colonels and people that have had more rank than me in the military. I used to have to organize them and help them move out of housing. So I just learned, even from a kid, man, my sisters and brother tell you that when I was young, like 10, 11, 12, I used to clean my room from corner to corner every Saturday, whether it needed it or not. I organized my clothes in my drawer. When I learned how to wash clothes about 11 years old, I learned how to separate, wash my clothes, and I used to fold them in my drawer. Even today, my wife look at my drawer and be like, boy, your stuff be so clean and organized. So when I got to the military, it was easy to do it because that's what I was already doing since I was 10, 11, 12 years old. And I've always took that with me. And, my father, I saw him going to work every day. I saw my mother going to work. Everything else, I just sort of learned for myself, man, and wanted to just be in that space for myself. So. With someone else?
Well, I learned in a little different way. Hang on, before we, let's get Bass in here. Because I know she's excited to be on, like always. Let's welcome her. My damn thing won't work great tonight. There it is. Bass, welcome once again.
Hey!
I'm gonna consider you our regular one now. No. You're gonna have the official name of our regular one of the regular women who comes on all the time now. You have the official title. That's it. You can argue with me all you want. You're not gonna win this fight. So we're talking about hardworking men.
Yeah.
So
that's how my daughter walked in.
Oh.
You can wait.
Hey.
They said,
is she over 21?
She just turned 21.
Man, she's a daughter. You don't know me. My name is Trey Fudge.
Hold on.
Oh, man. I want you to hear it, too. I want you to hear it, too.
There you go.
Daughter.
Okay, she can hear you.
Daughter, how you doing? I don't even want to know your name. I done took over my man grooming show, but I want to talk to you as an adult woman, right? You're a full-fledged adult. And I don't know what your goals are. I hope you plan on doing something and move not move out, but move in the next 3 to 5 years. I hope that you're looking at your life as your gift. What is your gift? What can you do? What can you provide to the world? Whether it's a natural born gift, draw, paint, skate, I don't know, do backwards flips. What is your gift?
Okay.
Can you answer that?
Oh, I like drawing and stuff. I was
okay.
Can they hear you?
Can you
Yeah,
hear
we
me?
can hear her.
Yes, yeah, you can draw, right? What do you like to draw? Everything or just certain things?
Yeah, I'm taking everything. I'm taking a break right now, but I was in
Why,
school for overtime.
why are you taking a break?
Saving money for more classes.
Okay, so your mom got you on that help yourself plan.
Mhm.
Okay, that's a good plan to be on. Just help mama, help yourself, right? But
Mhm.
if you apply for scholarships, if you can draw, paint, whatever, go to art school. Learn, see what programs are there that you can apply for and get free. Because art will take you around the world.
Okay.
I'm serious. Art will take you around the world, but you cannot be afraid though.
Mhm.
Listen to your mama. If you have questions, ask questions.
Okay.
And if your mama can't give you the answer, say, Mama, go talk to some ugly person that can give us the best answer. And Mama gonna do that shit because she loves you with all her damn heart.
Which part? The ugly part, or are you asking her questions?
But what I'm saying, what I'm trying to just get her to say is, I mean, just act on being an adult. Be very mindful of your surroundings. Start looking at the world as your home. Anywhere in the world, you should be looking to go.
Okay.
But when you go respectful and demand respect based off your presence, not what you say about what you do.
Yes.
Because okay, what time zone are you in?
Central.
Okay, so you're an hour behind me. So look at your mouth because you're 21 now. Because now you got to pay all the bills your mama pay. You got to put something on it.
Mhm.
Cause see, mama doing you a favor, don't you think so? She doing you a favor.
Yes.
All right, say, Mama, thank you, Mama, for doing her a favor. Now you gotta pay your mama back by taking your gift and just going and living your gift. I'm trying to tell you, it'll change your life. Do
Mhm.
not stay stuck. Don't worry about no boys. Don't worry about no girlfriends. Don't worry about worry about your mama, your grandmama. I don't know the relationship with your daddy. Maybe find time to talk to him, find out. And my grandmama might be mad, but that's another story between you and him. Just know that you just ask him on the spot, Daddy, you want to love me? And say yes. Okay, can niggas love me? And go around the world. I'm trying to tell you, it would change your life, young lady. It would change your life. Take your gifts and go around the world and teach young people your gift. That's the last thing. Teach kids your gift. God will bless you and protect you. I'm done. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you. Have a
I'm
nice
praying for
day.
her. You too. Can you draw this big head right here? Can you draw this big head right here?
Huh?
Mama asked her, can you draw this big tank head right here that you see on the screen?
Oh, can you draw us like self portraits?
No, I mean
I mean,
this tank head. Look at this.
well, not I mean not self portrait, but portrait of people to draw his head. I can try. She said she can try.
That's the best. That's all you can do is try. Try it all. Is what I'm trying to say. Try
He said
everything.
try it all.
Right. Because all of it is a great gift. Try it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That.
I'm sorry. You want to know?
You're good, man. You're good. Anytime you can motivate somebody, I'm always welcome to let you have the mic for the night. Okay, Bass, we're back with you. You're back on the hot seat. When you hear hardworking men, or hardworking in general, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
First thing that comes to my mind is my dad, my brother, my brothers, whatever. You know, I grew up with a hardworking man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I expect. You know. Um, and being around him. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I was here. Oh, okay. Oh, what did you? Oh, cool, cute. You want to do that stuff so you can sit? You want to? Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see. I also have a few other father figures who I've seen working hard. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not ignorant nor stupid like some of these other chicks who are dismissive of the bus driver, the mechanic, the janitor. You know what I'm saying? The trash man. Somebody's got to do it. So to look down on them. And AJ. To look down on them and feel like you're better than, no, you're trash. Just to be so, yeah, I can't get with it. It's like, just shut up. Silence is golden sometimes. You know, like, people always act like everybody has to speak. You don't have to say shit.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to put down good people to boost yourself.
Yeah, that's demonic.
Yeah, I actually like that. I'll explain to you why in a second. You guys all know I work in a hospital. I'm a chef in a hospital, cook, whatever you want. Goddamn, call me, I don't care. So, it's always a tension between us and the nurses. The nurses look down on us like we're nothing. And that's not right. Because without us, they cannot do their job. And without them, we cannot do our job. It should be an equal, great relationship, but it does not work like that. It's disappointing hard. Because thinking you work in a hospital, everybody's going to be a team. You're going to think about one person, the patient. Or patients. And make sure that we take care of them, but not always. Not always, unfortunately. All right, who is on the black camera? Keep going in and out. Let's welcome them in.
I'm gonna go on mute because I know I probably got background noise or something.
Sean, what's up?
What's up, Sean?
Peacock.
We can't hear you.
What's going on with you guys today? Oh, he's still adjusting himself. That's why. He's getting his makeup done. You know, his little eyebrows, little. Yeah. You want me to ask my girl to get you some, what was it, talk? Is that you guys put on, right? Alright, you ready to go? Man, he got fancy there, shit. I remember when he used to have his phone at one point. I don't think you guys remember that.
Oh yeah, he did say he was waiting for his stuff to come in when he was on the phone last time. Yeah. No,
I cannot hear you at all.
I can't hear you.
You're not muted. Let me check your settings and make double check. I'm pretty sure you're good. Good on my side. Yeah, you're good on this side, dude. Let me refresh you and see if that helps. Sean, go ahead, try again. Check your settings. Trey had a similar situation. It was something under his settings. He couldn't get in. Trey, what was it again with yours?
Just tell them go into the settings and it's got to put on the default speakerphone or whatever options the sound give. Headphones. And tell him turn his music volume up. Tell him go into his phone settings, not the OBS settings, the phone settings. And go into his music or something volume, one of them volume.
Sean, you hear that? Not if you heard. All right, he's working on it. All right, I'll give you a few minutes to figure that out. As I was saying, man, we're having technical issues today. Maybe some of you guys are right. Maybe I have to switch to StreamYard for a little bit too. I fix all these problems.
I can hear Sean now. Try to say something again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
What's going on, y'all?
What up, Peacock? Welcome.
I'm good. Thank you.
So I was saying before, Hardworking Men. Floor is yours. Was that first thing comes to your head?
Hardworking Man. Focus and consistency.
Good. Like that. So I was telling Trey and everybody else. To me, hardworking reminds me of my father. Me and my father didn't have the greatest relationship, but one thing I will never take away from him: he worked his ass off, 60 hours a day. He was self-employed cab driver. He came in this country illegally on a crab boat fisherman. So he worked his ass off to get where he's at. So the question I was going to ask Trey before you guys came in was, when you hear hardworking men, how do you define that in words and in values in your own way? Who wants to go first?
Well, I'll go first. And how do I define it? I just did kind of, work ethic is really a key thing. I know some artists that I signed, for example, Black Eyed Peas, I brought over to Interscope. And it had nothing to do with any music that I heard from them. It had everything to do with will.i.am's hard work and work ethic. He was consistent on calling me, trying to find out if I listened to his music, which I never did because I wasn't an A&R and it wasn't my job. But I admired the consistency. Then I saw his performance, the Black Eyed Peas performance, and that's what did it. Because their performance and the consistency, the work ethic that they showed in their performance is what made me bring them over to Interscope. And I literally walked them in, and it was right when I resigned. I had resigned, and I was due out in 2 weeks, and I told them to come over before I resigned so I can get them into the places and to the people that they need to see. But it had nothing to do with talent, although he's very talented as far as the music he made. I'm not taking that away from him. It had nothing to do with the demos that he had. It had everything to do with his work consistency. He called me almost regularly for like a year and a half, literally, before I was able to give the introduction and allow them the opportunity to get in the building in a respectable manner. Now I say that because he was in the building, like Jimmy Iovine's nephew, DJ, was working there as well, and he would happen to be when he walked in and they saw one another. He was like, "Yo, he was at my house last week for blah 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 blah," and I'm like, "Yeah, I get it, but you, Jimmy's nephew, and last project you brought over was a project called Hot Call, so they're not really respecting you in that building, or they're acknowledging that you're Jimmy's nephew." And I happened to be at that time the head of the rap department. I was the only person working at the rap department. So me bringing them in and going to Jimmy's office was a lot different and had a lot more of an impact than some others who might have brought them in at the time. Not to say that I was, that significant one way or the other, but I understood that value and what I would be able to share, and the way that I presented them was very intentional. And
they know what you bring in, so you do hold a lot of weight,
Well, yeah, it did. I mean, I'm not disputing that. I understand that in hindsight. At the time, it wasn't about the weight that I brought in. It was just intentionally bringing them to the right people that I knew needed to hear them, and I gave them the game plan. I said, when you get here, treat them as a band. Don't treat them as a hip-hop group, and you have a lot of success. Unfortunately, they didn't listen to that until afterwards. Their first album, they treated them like a hip-hop group and marketed them like they were Jurassic 5. And it was a mediocre response that they got. But fortunately, they did see what I saw, which was the performance and the work ethic and the talent that Will was able to share with Jimmy and them when I was gone. And then they added Fergie, and the rest is history.
Personally, I thought they were a great band. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think they're incredible.
Well, that's what I agree from the standpoint of what you just said, band. And I use that word very intentionally, because I feel like they, when I told them we had Limp Bizkit, we had No Doubt, we had certain hip hop leaning bands that I felt that if they connected them with them, it would be something magical, because they held their own. And in fairness, they did put them on tour with like Cypress and a bunch of real and people who thought, oh man, these guys ain't gonna do, and they turned it out every night. Those cats were like, I remember Cypress and them saying, and Naughty by Nature saying, yo, I remember I thought the Black Eyed Peas was gonna be some corny, and then I saw myself watching them perform on some shows. So they would wound up, getting their, getting a lot of their respect and recognition by going on tour and doing exactly what I suggested. Unfortunately, it could have been quicker, but I guess it's nothing unfortunate about it. But unfortunately, I wasn't there to participate in it because I resigned because I wanted to go spend some time with my daughter. But nonetheless, all that ends well is well, and that's where it is.
Nice. Bass, you're up.
I guess I can only speak for like.
We lost you, Bass. She hit the mute button, didn't you? Did you hit the mute button? You know what? This is what you get.
Goodness. I'm just like, nah. So,
all right, go ahead.
What I think of course, is a man taking care of his family, doing whatever is needed to take care of his family. I wouldn't know what a man fully how far a man goes to take care of self because I've only seen men taking care of family. It's me and my brother. So my dad worked 2 jobs to take care of us. I think there was a small time that he did 3 jobs, like but I know he definitely did 2. And like my dad would come in from work because he worked graveyard, which is in itself stressful, right? Because our bodies are not meant to work at night. It's actually unhealthy to work graveyard because you're forcing your body to go against the natural order of things, which is to be up during the day and sleep at night. Shoot, he would come in and be like knocked out on the floor in the living room. I get up, see him, and lay right down with him, So, and because he worked so hard, he was able to like take us on different trips and stuff. As kids, we were very well traveled. I'll say. Every summer he had somewhere to take us, but he had to work hard for that money to take us places, right? So, yeah. And one of my other role models, he had a bike shop, and I worked for him. I would calculate all his taxes, all his receipts for his taxes and stuff like that. And it's because of him that I could even work at a job and be content with it. I was used to working because of him. So therefore, I'm the type of person, I don't mind working for my money. It's cool, you know what I'm saying? Just don't give me no bullshit. Like, don't give me no attitude at this place, whatever. But other than that, I'm cool working for my money. It's this is what you do. And it's just proof that you have to put in to get something in return, right? You don't get something for free. Even if you're given something that doesn't cost anything financially, you're swapping something. You may not know what you're swapping, but you're swapping something. Some kind of transaction is being had. So, yeah. So yeah, that's what I think of.
Trey, you're up. Trey, your volume again, man. Your volume. You're mute too. Man, we're getting attacked by this mute monster tonight.
Yeah. I mean, listen, man. Hard work, it's either in you or it ain't. Simple as that. Because I remember my first job that I ever had. I didn't get my first official job until I was 18. I saw great examples on how to keep a house clean, how to, get up in the morning, go to work, get home, everybody eat. I saw that growing up. So my first job I didn't have to get till I was 18. And I worked at the county fair cleaning bathrooms. I had to clean 2 bathrooms. That was my area. I cleaned them bathrooms so good that when uh, I guess the administration, some of those people came through to the bathroom, they offered me a job on the spot. And but I was in college, so I was like, man, I'll be out of here at the college. He said, well, when you come back for the summer, we'll hire you. Just come see me. I was making $3.35 an hour, working from 7:30 to 3:30, Monday through Friday. I did special events. I got to see Whitney Houston. I think some other people, the white people, I ain't really pay attention to them, but I was there because I worked. And I was making $130 over every Friday. I thought I was King God. Plus, I was cutting hair. I was making another about that time, probably about $60 a week, just cutting local heads, $5 here, $6. And I mean, it's just in you or it ain't, man. But as a person, man, just take pride in everything that you get a chance to learn. It pays off at some point. That's why I think education is important, and good parenting is important, and good fatherhood is important, whether it's good or bad, however you look at it. But a father go protect you and show you just things that a mother can't, and a mother go give you things a father can't. You know what I'm saying? But when you in position, sometimes you just gotta be appreciative and just respect that position. I learned early, man, just respect your position as far as shit, whether you're a safety patrol worker, working in the, dishwasher. I've always took pride and I don't care, I don't know, man. And I've been blessed, I did so much stuff before I was 22, 23 that by the time I got that age, I was ready to take on the world, man. I ain't letting nobody tell me what I couldn't do. If I ain't want to do it, I just didn't put a lot of energy. But I've been blessed beyond. That's why I can only say I'm 56. I don't have to work another day in my life. These complaints everybody talking about, I don't have them complaints, but I understand how I did it through hard work and helping other people. That's how I got blessed. I want to help other people get to a better space. If it's just some information or show you how to do it. And this is my last thing. As I got to be a grown man, like 30, and I done been to college and been to the war about 32, I never worked around teenagers. They do all the work. They're going to read it. They're going to write it. They're going to put it together. They're going to take it apart. I'm going to supervise and make sure it's tight. Make sure it's well read. That's it. Just like young lady, like you said, when you was going over doing that stuff as a teenager, that's how I've always done it. Ain't no, if you don't want to be a part of it, you don't get no reward at the end. But look at that stuff. That's how I grew up. Like you was taught, like, here, come on over and add these numbers up. Your math grade went up. You was like, hell, I know how to count this money. But, those are good things to learn, man. I think we just, as parents today, we just too soft. We worried about ourselves and undisciplined because if the kids can think about it. In hindsight, brother, you spoke about it. If you can teach the kids to look at it like you didn't see it back then, today, with all the opportunities and advancements that are there, man, we'll change the fucking world. That's what I believe. We'll change the world. Because they say, oh, man, y'all was broke back then. They don't even take account for inflation. You know what I'm saying? This still 40,000, 80,000 is 40,000 today, and 40,000 was 40,000 40 years ago. But they don't see it like it. But hey, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Because we was buying houses back then. Everybody 52 is people retiring 52 years old now. They done worked the job 20 years. So these young folk ain't even working in today. 35, 40. It don't make sense to me. It's too late. So hard work starts early, and it's got to be, despite of how your parents treated you or whatever. Kids in foster care, some of them be the hardest workers. Kids that got it all, they be the laziest motherfuckers. Don't want to do shit. But it all depends on what you want. That's why I was telling your young daughter, man, the world is hers at 21. She's an adult. Shit, take the meat, spit out the bones. Somebody ain't trying to benefit. The hell with
And
that.
I may not have heard because I had to given her the headset, whatever. But I still appreciate you talking to her.
I was trying to say have it on speakerphone so y'all both can hear it. I was trying to say that.
Oh, but see, then you run into interference between the mic and the
Okay,
speaker.
I'm sorry. Okay,
I'm gonna give you a setup one day that has the dual thing to plug in two
I
headsets.
wanted you to hear it though. I did.
Oh, I'm gonna go back and replay it.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm just talking about that.
Plus, it helps me with my viewership
Saying,
still.
thank
So
you,
Okay.
like I said, it's good to have male role models and because like she didn't have a relationship, but I call him sperm donor because he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, but she has her grandfather, her she's had her both her grandfathers and uncles and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
That's good. That's good. I can
So
tell she's a sweet
any guy that I'm cool with and you're intelligent and I approve of you, give her all the information you want to.
well, I'm out
I
then.
don't even know if I'm intelligent, but it just depends on who you say.
So, really fast in the comments, guys. Sean, this goes for you. The question is, Sean. This comes from Stacy because I know how nosy she is. Stacy wants to know, out of curiosity, how did you work with these bands, and what do you do for a living?
Well, I was in the music industry for a significant part of my life. I started when I was about 17, 16 years old, and I was there until I was, in my 40s, and for quite a few times. I started out as an artist. I was signed to Geffen Records. I was one of the first rap groups signed to Geffen Records. At the time, it's funny because I just literally left a meeting over there by Geffen, and I then transitioned behind the scenes and worked at labels like Interscope. So that was the Interscope journey that I was telling you with Black Eyed Peas, and that's how I worked with them. But Will had knew me as an artist before I even started as a person who worked at the label, and so he kind of knew both sides in his regard. And then I continued to work behind the scenes as an executive in a lot of different angles. So I've done management, I've done ran a label, I've was an artist, I did A&R. I pretty much, if it was a basketball team, I say it this way, if hip-hop was a basketball team, I played every position, including a coach. And that's kind of my history, and that's what I do right now. I'm a salesperson for this, and it lends to the point. It's H2O, which is a CBD infused water, and now we're back at that grind. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So I have to remind myself of that at times, because I have to continue to work hard and use some talents that I have, but the work ethic and the consistency is the key to it all. Consistency. I tell artists all the time, I said, the only way you're going to fail and not be successful is when you stop. Because if you stay consistent, you will succeed at whatever you do, in my opinion. It doesn't matter. If you stay consistent as a criminal, you will succeed. If you stay consistent in school, you will succeed. If you stay consistent in any place, you will succeed. It's about choosing what you want to succeed at that point. And that's why I wouldn't suggest being a criminal. But if that was a choice of yours and you stay consistent, you will succeed. Now, part of being a criminal is jail time or death. So you will succeed. That might be the reward, jail time or death, but you will succeed. So I say that to just emphasize consistency and that's what I call hard work, is just staying consistent. You will have mistakes, you will make mistakes, you will have fumbles, but don't allow it to stop you. It's kind of like if you're in a marathon and you fall down, you don't stop the race. You keep running. You get up and keep running, and you can achieve getting to the end of that marathon. And so I just, right, like I said, I learned this because right now we're back in this grind mode of getting the water out. We're in 7-Elevens now. We're in gyms. We're in health food stores out here in Los Angeles, and we're expanding to other places. So we're going to continue to do this. We're going to continue to put all of the things that we learned from the music industry and apply it to a new industry, being water, because everybody needs water. And in case you're not familiar with CBD is the component in cannabis that medicates you. It doesn't get you high. That's THC. It gives you, it can help with your anxiety. It can help with pains. It can help with things of that nature. So something you might want to think about and try.
I don't know about that CBD not giving you no high, because I've had CBD. Well,
no, let me share this with you. All CBD products might not. Some of them might have THC in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I was specifically. Yeah, I was specifically. We don't have any THC because that's kind of the game plan. We're targeting health food stores, medical places, just regular stores, convenience stores, 7-Eleven, etc. So that's why we can't have THC in it. But the ironic about it is dispensaries can't sell our water because they need to have a small percentage of THC in all of their products to be sold in the dispensary.
Well, that's what the dispensary do.
Sean, do me a favor. Can you raise your camera a little bit?
Lift your camera up a little bit. Okay. Your head's chopped off.
Oh, that was because I was the shirt in real quick.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm back. Can you hear me? My volume?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Let's see. You say, wait, is a smoke shop considered a dispensary?
No.
A smoke shop is not, we're in a lot of smoke shops.
Yeah.
But we're not in dispensaries. Dispensaries sell THC. You gotta have it legal. Out here, I'm in California, and that's where we're located right now. So in Los Angeles, yes, we can't get into dispensaries where it is legal, recreational, and medicinal. Both THC is legal out here, but we can't put our product because it doesn't have any THC. Now it needs a small amount of THC in order for the dispensaries to be able to sell it.
Right.
Now, Sean, let me ask you a question about this stuff. Can I?
I was targeting the right audience because the medical field is far outweighing the dispensary field, and getting into the medical, especially the medical benefits that can come of it. I think that's far beyond the THC, just a mood altering drug.
Yeah, I agree. And what helped us continue the business, because I got in it some years ago, but what helped us start this brand here is because of the testimonies that we were receiving. I had my mother, for example, said, "Hey, I tried your water and I didn't have to take my pressure pills." And I heard somebody who was going through chemo tell me, "Hey, it helped me help with my nausea after coming out of chemo." I heard myself personally, I had a kidney stone where I was pretty much crippled on the ground, and I wound up getting my drinking some water, and it helped me to help with the pain, where I was able to function, and then of course pass it because I was drinking a lot of the water. But I can't make those as claims. I can only take testimonies because I don't know what it'll do for you, but that's what it did for me.
Right.
So, Sean, let me ask you a question. Can you sell online too?
Yes, I can, but we haven't yet because we don't have the distribution outlets yet. We need to be able to, because the weight in itself is what makes it difficult. Because a case of water, for the weight to mail, cost more than the case of water, because we have actually with the lowest price in the marketplace, which is $1.99 per bottle. I'll get a bottle in a second and show you guys. But so if you're talking $24, $48 for a case retail, and it's 30 pounds to ship, 30 pounds in any postal, UPS, FedEx, however you want to call it, is close to or sometimes over $100. So we're waiting till we can expand into other areas and actually have stop and drop locations where we can do truckloads. And once we get to the place of where we're sending truckloads to the East Coast, they'll be able to pick up or ship from there, and they'll be less expensive, and we can do more of an online presence.
Stacy wants to know, what's it called again?
H2O.
H2O. Whoa.
See, fused water. I'm gonna show you our bottle in a second. I just have to go get it, so stand by.
So something interesting. Sean always throws the topic out there. Crazy. That's why I love that guy. As he gets back, let's continue our conversation. Where do we leave off? Character. What are some? Oh, there he is. Hi.
That's it.
Well, Sean, when you're ready to ship.
Are y'all in Vegas?
What was that?
Are y'all in Vegas?
We will be. We're right now based in Los Angeles only. You only can get in Los Angeles in 7-Elevens and health food stores and gyms and places that I just mentioned in Los Angeles. If you go to our Instagram page, which is official H2O, you find the locations where we're at out here. But we're about to expand. We're waiting for our paperwork as well, so that we can prove that it's based from hemp. It's hemp based, which is also important. Hemp based is the only legal CBD that you can sell federally for consumption.
Okay.
So Sean, when you're ready to go global, I mean stateside, obviously, let me know. I'll bring you on. You can promote your product, drop it down in a link, and maybe we can work something out together. I mean, we have a code or something for these guys. How's that sound?
Say no more.
Yeah, let me know when you're ready. You got my info?
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get back to the topic. So, characteristics. I can't pronounce that goddamn word. So, what are some characters that you will need to be a hardworking man or a hardworking woman in Bastet case?
You say characteristics?
Yes.
I guess first of all, determination, because you got to push yourself, especially if you work in a graveyard or you working 2 jobs and stuff like that. Another thing is pride in what you do. Some people, they turn in trash work and still want to get paid the same amount of money as the ones that's fully doing their job and take pride in their job. Like, So, determination, pride in what you do. I don't know what else right now. Those are the 2 major things for me.
Trey, you want to go next?
I could probably name a few, but I mean, I can run down a whole list, but I'm just going to give maybe 5 or 6. You know, I think you really have to start with a lot of the basics. You know, you have to have accountability. You have to have integrity. You have to have respect. You know what I'm saying? Respect for people, places, and things. You have to have a vision. You know, open-minded and vision pretty much can be the same. You know, if you understand what a job is going into it, just be open and learn the job and have a vision to know if there's something you want to stick with, learn as much as you can. If not, move on. You know, that's the way I've always looked at it. Have a positive outlook. You know, just, I don't know, man. Yeah, the self determination. That's it's everything. I don't know, man. I've had them all. If I didn't want to do it, I just moved. I had enough guts to know that if I couldn't give my best at something, I would just move on from it and find something to do my best at. Because as far as work, I learned how to work with my hands early. My skill trade is construction, but I've had to work very little in construction. I have experience in education, coaching for 37 years. And almost every position was a paid position. Life coaching. Uh, education, high school. Elementary, junior high school, or middle school. I mean, oh yeah, man, just have a good fucking heart. That's it. That's the last one. Have a good heart.
Well, the positive outlook is very important because if you notice, whenever you're in a negative mindset, you feel heavier. Like negativity has a weight to it, and you're not going to get your best work out of a negative mind. So yeah, that's facts right there.
Well, I'm a man of character, moral, and integrity, and I heard that in both of your answers, but that's not something that you need for success. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you want to look at it. Because I know a lot of liars, who are great salespeople, and they have a lot of success. That's why I use the attributes that I said earlier, work ethic, because that work ethic and consistency is really what lends to you succeeding. Unfortunately, character is not one of those things. I hope and wish that we all can have character naturally, and we all can have character, especially with different types of jobs that should have character, such as the military, as he was just describing. There's integrity and character that should be part of that. But as he can probably tell you, that doesn't exist in everybody who he's worked with. That doesn't exist in everybody who's been successful. Some of the generals, some of the people, it might not exist in all of them. So I would love to sit and cheerlead that you need these things, but hip hop, politics, the world has proven that concept and theory wrong. It debunked that whole theory. But I personally encourage it because I think the world needs it. I think humanity needs it. I think we need it. From that standpoint, and we might have a lot more people who can have success if we had it. But unfortunately, greed does not breed a characteristic of integrity. Selfishness does not breed a characteristic of integrity. But both of those qualities, you sometimes and often see are successful business people.
So, my personal opinion is, first, be a good person. Help people. That's what I like what I do. I'm not serving somebody. I'm not serving a person. That food I'm making could be the last meal somebody can help them. They could be on deathbeds, and that's the last thing they eat. They got a smile on their face. Make a big difference. And what I do is not for the kind heart. I'll be straight up. It could be a rough day sometimes, or a really bad day. You can pick which way you want to go with it. And that's where your roots come in. I mentioned earlier before you guys jumped in, you need good roots. Those roots need to grow and bloom like a flower. As they bloom, you become the person you want to be. But it's your choice which way you want to bloom too. Because you can go left, the easy way, or right, the hard way. It's up to you. I personally, you can keep all the gifts you want. Keep them all you want. I prefer the hard because I want to work for my money. I want to work at everything. I want to be successful with hard work. And I mentioned this before and you guys know this, and who is watching this right now has no know. I suffer from a reading and spelling disability. Some days can be very hard for me, some days are not. But you think that stopped me? No. I take that fucking bitch and I ram her every day. Over and over, I will win. He's not going to win me, I will win. And that's a goddamn. It's not a promise. It's a prediction. So let's get into the next question. This kind of goes where I left off. How impact are your decisions?
Can you repeat that?
How yeah, we got one twisted thing, Sean. How impact are your decisions?
So, would you mean how intentional? Is that what you mean by impact?
Yeah, we can go with that.
At this stage in my life, very, very intentional. I feel like I've always had intention. I just didn't always have know-how. And sometimes my intention was misdirected. Sometimes, I sometimes reflect. The reason why I just said what I said in reference to work ethic and character is because I've seen so many, especially in the industry, the entertainment industry, who have succeeded, who didn't have any of that. And I was the one who had it. And so their achievements, accolades, and rewards that they got is what society often calls and strives for, i.e., what the story going around with Diddy right now. People strive for that. But now you see some of the things and some of the accusations that are coming up, and not just him, but several other people of power who people at one time revered, including Trump, and whoever you wanted. There's a lot of different people who they were very successful by not having the qualities, the character, the morality, and I have to reflect on that and say, do I want that? Or do I want this? So yes, they're impacted with my decision on what my goals are. I could have easily have had compromised my integrity and had a lot of those rewards that many people have received. I just chose not to, and I don't regret my choice, because although I might have had more financially and things of that nature, I might have lost myself. I might not have the characteristics that I have now. I might not stand on proudly. I might be, rich and sad, rich and miserable, rich and afraid because of things that I did to people, and the karma coming back that's weighing on my shoulder and back of my head or wherever, to where I can't even function properly. I'm now drowning myself in addictions, whether it be the addiction to work, whether it be addiction to drugs, women, whatever the addiction might be. I might be falling victim and drowning in that had I not made the impacted choice that you asked of. So yes, my work is impacted by my moral compass.
Bass, you want to go next?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, my stuff is impacted, like, more so now. It's because, and I would say because as a young adult, whatever, and young single mother, I was just, they meant well, but I was misguided a lot of how to do things. And I'll just, instead of second guessing or third guessing or doing something different, I went with what other people said. And so shit was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I could be in a whole totally different place if I had went and just done what was right for me. Because my lifestyle, it wasn't their lifestyle. They don't even have the same background as me. So naturally, they wouldn't have been right as mentors for me in my journey. So yeah, I definitely go with more impact and checking things out more so for myself. And so therefore, because I try to live my life with making moves that I won't regret as much as possible. You're always going to have regrets sometimes, at some point. But the less regrets you have, the better. So, yeah, that's what I got.
Can I just lend something? You mentioned negativity earlier, and I just challenge you not to bring the word regret in anything that you say, because you've learned a lot from things that challenged you, and it's made you the better person who you are today. And when you say regret, it lends to the negativity subconsciously or consciously, depending on how we look at it.
Yeah, you're right.
Bass, I want to hear this quote I have. All right, and it means a lot to me.
You're right. Thank you.
Eventually, I'm going to get copyrighted, but hear me out. We all gonna fall, but you're not gonna fall backwards. You're gonna go forward. As you're falling down, you can see your mistakes, because when you go back up, you're gonna do better ones. Make sense?
Yeah.
Trey, you're up, man.
Thank you.
I mean, my man, what's your name again?
Peacock.
Sean.
Okay, Peacock, Sean. I'm gonna call you Sean. Just in hearing your story today about some of your background, your work history, it just sort of confirmed what I thought years ago in that type of industry. How and the music industry is sort of like politics in a sense. They yell out of their mouth kumbaya, the right thing, but they act on the underhanded, the debauchery, the slightest, I don't know, everything against what the goodwill of the word would say. That's the lifestyle of those industries. I already understand it. And here somebody working, okay, now I ain't even got to question that no more. And I think that you also spoke about how we all have similarities in our heart. Especially, we want to do the right things, and you have to make those hard decisions about just having those characteristics to again, sort of like identify your morality, your goodness in your heart. And, as you get older, you see things in life like, okay, I can look back and see how my decisions impacted my life, good or bad. But now I know every decision I make until I leave this earth impacts my life. So everything that got me to the point, and this is where it speaks to you, young lady, is like everything that got you to this point has gave you a foundation. Now going forward, you own that. You came out of all of that storm, because you just say that's the storm, and you ain't even got a scratch on you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got a scratch on you, so you good in that. Words like regret, I wish I shouldn't have. It's already in your life. That's what you standing on. Put it behind you and go forward. Go forward. And I think even especially other people, sometimes we hold on to that shit that happened too long, and it ain't the part of hold it on, but when we identify it, because we can talk about all the trauma we went through, but we don't let it go. Just let that shit go and fly. I'm telling you, brother, I appreciate you, man. You look like you can do. You need to get your little band out there now, man, and teach them how to do it the right way, man. I don't know, man. I used to always wanted to be a singer or something, but I know I didn't want to do no hip hop. I wanted to be one of them old school with the suits on and everything. So, but I couldn't sing though, man. I had I failed music, shit. But it's just a great time. I mean, I don't know, man. We got so much, and working hard, man. Just do it. Don't question it. Now I ain't got you over there teared up, do I? Or let's get it out your system. Let's cry. We're gonna cry. I'm crying with you. Get it out, sister. Because once you get it out, guess what? Now we're gonna go. We're gonna throw it in the garbage, and we're gonna leave it where it's at, and you're gonna shine like a mother. Watch what I'm telling you.
Agreed, and we're here to encourage that because again, one thing that I find in my sisters, especially my in our community, is that you harbor a lot of pain and disguise it through achievements and never release it. And it'll come up at a time. And a lot of the pain is just simply because it was a learning curve.
Yeah.
And I see you've just spoke about the success of what's going on with your daughter, and so many proud things to really understand that for surely the Lord knows what you know not.
Yeah.
And this world and the Lord is like these now GPS systems. When you go off track, rerouting, all you got to do is continue to pay attention to that GPS, and that GPS is God planning system. That's what we'll call it tonight. God's planning system. And so there you have it. Every time you go, of course, rerouting, and that's all it was. And that's all you had to do. Rerouting, you back on track. Just don't lose sight of it. Don't turn it off.
You supposed to see it in your dreams. When you close your eyes, you're supposed to see it sometimes.
Guys, let me fair. Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
You're fine?
I'm sorry.
You're around friends and family.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'll make sure you're okay. That's what all I care about. Like my streams will not make you cry, make you open your mind.
We can talk some other things.
Yeah. You have IG?
I think I just signed up for it.
You think?
Yeah, I did. But yeah, I know I did. I just signed up for it. I got to figure. I get why you contact grooming, don't you?
Huh?
You ain't grooming. You got her email. I mean,
I have his email. I don't think I have his Instagram.
all right, well.
Ooh, you want to get personal like that,
For real.
Huh?
I don't even know my name on Instagram. If I know. I look at it, it's on my app on my phone, but I couldn't tell you what my name. What's yours? I'm gonna write it down. I gotta write it down.
Okay.
If you don't mind, if you can do it in the chat, I don't know. I was doing it.
My IG is beautifully animated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm real simple.
Oh my God. Okay. I see you in the chat around. Starting trouble.
Seriously, guys. You know, this is supposed to open your mind, not to break it down. But we're gonna be able to and make you better. You got my support.
And this system that you're working on, every time I see it, it's just more amazing. I put my thumb up like this, and it puts a little thumb up.
What kind of computer you on?
I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay. You got an iPhone?
Yeah.
Oh, the iPhone does that. Apple does that.
Oh, because I ain't getting nothing over here. I'm just like
that's you on your all the Apple products do it. Now hold your thumb upside down. It do it. It do crazy stuff, man. Look, see? Look, do like this. Watch that. Watch the balloons come up when you wiggle your fingers. Yeah, it's just crazy, man. You gotta get it in the right spot. It'll do it. Yeah, it's your iPhone.
Wow. That's crazy. Okay.
So
see, so you don't know nothing about IG, but you know about these iPhones. All right, I ain't mad at that.
Well, I got an Android phone, but I use Mac desktop. That's the
he makes no sense, does he? Like, why would you have a Mac, Android and not an Apple iPhone? Like,
I used to have iPhone, but iPhone ain't the same quality since Jobs and the Android. I got the pen. I can write. I can do all. I like all that old stuff, man. That's all. I got the Note 20, the 24, man. I can get the updated when they come out.
He's kind of fancy, guys, isn't he?
That's what the topic is. That's what hard work do for you.
Yeah, but I think you're fancy too.
Hard work.
Yep.
56 years old, retired. Hell yeah. I'll pay myself first though. I don't, Yeah, I'll pay myself first.
So to your question, OBS is a great program, but it is buggy at times, and it's a little harder work because StreamYard or Restream and all the other one like King Smith uses. I'm gonna kick his ass when I see him. Real Precious uses StreamYard. BM uses StreamYard. Okay, you're mute again.
I said I use StreamYard, and I'm just learning that, but I like this.
Yeah,
OBS, like I said, I am going to be teaching Trey soon. When I get a little time, that is, how to use this. So the OBS is not hard; it is more complicated. So for all this you see right here, all this you see right, everything has needs a plugin. Like the bottom right down, all this that was a plugin. Like this right here, this is a plugin. So you have to do like 5 steps to do that. Versus StreamYard, you just hit click and that you're done. Make sense?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
here's the beauty about this, and I will worry about this. And people tell me it should be StreamYard. Not doing that. What I like about it, ready for this? It's free.
Well, I mean, it depends. Let's go into the subject you're talking about. It's not free. You're putting in more work, and so you pay for certain things, and that's the reason why you pay for it. It's for more convenience. It's for more access. It's for more ability to not have to do those extra steps. So it's not particularly free. It's just free in physical currency, but it's not free in the time that you are putting forth to be able to learn it and use it.
There's transaction in everything you do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, I might put a little extra work in it. You're right about that. I'm not going to deny that one bit. But I prefer putting the extra work one time, and there's only one fee in my paycheck versus every week or every month.
I mean, I'm not advocating either. I'm just saying neither are free.
Yeah. I mean, I like OBS. I be working with OBS a little bit, but I ain't. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm going to get a
I want to learn because I do too. Like, I prefer to put in sweat equity as opposed to what do you call it? Paper
Cash.
equity.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, with it.
Yeah. Groomer, I do have one question regarding OBS, and then I just need to know. Like in OBS, when I set my scenes, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the correct thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because OBS, I know I'm like, damn, I can set scenes and just switch a whole scene out.
So, for example, like I'll show you a good example. So this, wrong one. This is a scene. This is a scene. This is a scene. This is a scene.
Okay.
That is a blank page I got fixed. You get the idea.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I like about OBS. You can just change this shit up and
Yeah. And in fairness, I have to do the work either way because I don't understand StreamYard the same way I don't know. So it's a learning curve either way. So to your point, I do prefer putting that learning curve in something I don't have to invest in every month. I get it.
So it is simpler, but you know, once you get this down, this is 10 times easier. And if you see the quality of the picture I have, like even Lost in translation, he was on this. He goes, dude, the quality is like incredible. Like it's so crisp, it's not even funny. Versus StreamYard, it streams so much because you take in the program, stream it through them, and then online. Versus this, it goes straight to the source.
You're right, and that's been a complaint of some people who have looked at my YouTube when I use StreamYard. They said, I don't know what you're using, but it's always fuzzy when you get to YouTube. And when they're right. The quality of the crispness of the camera is just so clear, and it's like you're directly, as you said, posting through your phone. I can see all of the details.
Well, also with StreamYard, if you go to the camera, right? If your camera has what 180 HD on there,
Mm-hmm.
you have to select that setting on StreamYard. So
And it
if you
costs
don't,
too.
you're not. It's not going to record you in 180, even though your camera's capable of doing it.
So with my camera,
you gotta pay. You gotta pay
No,
the.
I
You
don't
gotta
have to
pay
pay.
for it. Oh well, every time I go there, I try to hit it on. See, I'm on a Mac too. See what I'm saying? A Mac be
Oh,
different.
wow.
so
I
hang on a
can't use it
second,
on a
Trey.
Mac.
So with that, it depends on the camera you have. First of all, like I have Elgato face cam, one of the best cameras on the market. So when I stream on StreamYard with BMU, I have to go in the settings and change that every single time because I look at my other monitor right over here and I watch myself and say, okay, what is going on here? It's blurry. Okay, so I need to fix that. That means so I go in the settings and fix that. That's why sometimes you see me glitching online when I'm talking to you guys because I'm fixing stuff. It just I get it where he's coming from. It's a better service. But even Black David said he wants BMU to switch over to OBS because he's gonna have more creativity. I can do whatever I want with this. I can go here if I wanted to. I can go do this. You know what I'm saying? Or do this. Or here's one of my favorite parts.
This is Sparta!
And you get the idea. You have I did that. That was me. This cook chef did all this and I'm not really tech savvy, believe it or not. So you can get stuff done. It's just you just have to take some time. Now that I have it down, I don't even look at it on StreamYard, to be honest with you guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward. I want you to introduce it to me. You keep saying OVS. Is that a V as in Victor or B as in boy?
No,
Brother?
OBS.
B as in boy,
No, I'm saying the middle one. Is it a Victor or a brother?
brother.
Brother.
Okay, OBS.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna put that in the chat right now for you, so you can just go get it right there.
If you can do me a better favor, can you email it to me? Because I don't even know how to work the chat yet.
Yeah.
Every time I press the chat, I don't see everything.
I'm doing it as we speak.
All right, cool. I appreciate it.
No problem. If you need any help, just give me a call. I think you have my number, I think, don't you?
Let's get back to the detouring. Go ahead. Put us back on track. GPS.
All right. Yeah. We calculating back to okay, give me two options here from both of you guys. Good and bad. One option shit, I fucked up, but I learned from my mistakes and I did it better next time. And the other one damn, I did a good fucking job, and you know what? Pat on the back. Bass, you go first. I'm gonna put her on the spot for a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, my daughter for one thing. Yes, I did that. And the bad is staying at my old job for as long as I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about good one?
The good one is my daughter.
I'll take it. Sean, you want to go next?
Okay. Bad. I underestimated my value. For example, when I was sharing earlier, if I would have known what I know now, I started out as an artist and felt I needed to go and learn the business. And so I didn't really have to do that. I separated what I had already learned and done as an artist to pursue the business, not realizing that the artist is part of the business.
Oh my goodness! Can I have that one too? Because that's totally me. I stayed at my old job because I undervalued myself as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
And so that would be the one that I learned, and I realized that the tradition. That's why I separate education from knowledge so often. Is because everybody always advocates education, 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 and overlooks the knowledge that you actually can receive through experiences, especially when you're paying attention or you're doing experiences intentionally. And I learned that through that scenario, and that was the what I would do differently. Is I would understand, because the funny thing is, it was right in my face. I was interning, for example, when I first got at a label, and the person who I was interning for, I'm reading charts and sharing things with him, and he's like, "Yo, how you know how to do that?" And I'm like, "How don't you know how to do that?" But what I realized is that I was doing it all of my career as an artist. I was following charts. I was pretty much doing the business of the music, not realizing that I was doing the business of the music, the promotions, the marketing, so on and so forth. Like, for instance, Cypress Hills, we connected with them, and I would be in Chicago doing some other business, and I would go up to DJs and say, "Yo, I want to hear that new Cypress Hill, How I Could Just Kill a Man," and they had no idea because it wasn't out yet. I didn't realize that I was promoting. I was marketing Cypress prior to them. When they would ask me, for example, in magazines, who do you listen to, and like Right On and things of that nature, I will say Mellow Man Ace and Cypress Hill. They hadn't even been in the studio yet. They was Muggs homeboys, and I knew they wanted to get in this, and that was the first thing that I did. So I was doing that naturally, as opposed to I didn't really have an answer, so they was my answer, because as an artist, I never want to listen to nobody because I didn't want to be accused of biting. So I wouldn't listen to other things that were out, and I would just kind of, so creatively, I wouldn't get caught up in that. That was just the integrity of my creativity. So I would come up with Cypress or Mellow and people that I knew, and just say, yeah, that's what I'm listening to. And they hadn't even been in the studio. They wasn't even signed to anything like that. So but what I realized in hindsight, I was promoting them, marketing them, because when I got into the industry, that was what my job was. So I was doing a lot of that, and I learned that you don't need to have education to get knowledge. And knowledge is probably more valuable than education, because education, you're just passing tests to get a reward or to get the end result. Whereas knowledge, you're doing it with passion, you're doing it with intention, you're doing it, and you probably will retain it a lot longer. So that's what I did mistakenly, and everything, and things that are good, everything else. I keep it positive. I don't feel like anything I've done was bad. I just feel like, okay, I've learned from it, and that was a good part about it. I have a saying that I came up with: when a lesson is revealed, behold, or shall I say, hold the B in front of that lesson. B plus lesson equals blessing. So I look for the revelations now. I look for the blessings now. I look to be able to understand why I'm going through this. I remember one of my friends that got shot, and he said, before I passed out, I said, okay, Lord, I know there's a lesson somewhere in this. And then he passed out. and ironically, the lesson was they was robbing him for his Rolex. Instead of just giving him the Rolex that was insured, he threw it up on the roof so nobody could get it. And they shot him in the butt. And so as he was losing blood, that's when he said, okay, Lord, what's the lesson in that? And after we spoke about it, he's like, man, I got my money back with insurance. I risked my life for no real reason when I could have just gave it up.
And it probably saved his ass cheeks too.
What was that?
He probably could have saved his ass cheeks too.
No, he would have, because they wasn't really trying to hurt him. They were just mad that he threw it up on the roof, so they shot him in the butt. That's why they shot him in the butt, nowhere else. Thinking that it would just be a flesh wound.
I can give a straight face of thinking about that.
And everything you just said is exactly what happened with me and my art, especially because I'm not a musical artist. I'm a paints and crafts artist. So it's like that's the regret I was telling y'all about earlier. It is a passion for me, And when I was in elementary school, what the teachers taught was jobs pay the bills, but careers are what you love to do. Careers are not considered work because you're doing something you have a passion for, and therefore you don't even recognize it as work. So it's like, I could have actually had a career than compared to a long-term job, I'll say. So yeah. I didn't even think about that.
All right. Sean, I have a little pushback on yours. I agree and disagree. I agree, education is not always the right way, and knowledge is, but if you had the knowledge and then go to school, what do you say about that? Mute again. You said muted. Man, the mute bug is really getting us tonight.
I'll go while you're getting this out.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
I said, what's the point?
What's the point?
Yeah, what are you going to school for? What is it doing for you? Most CEOs, most billionaires don't have degrees. What is it doing for you other than getting you a job?
The only thing I can think of is there's some jobs, depending on where you want to go, right? Some jobs require that degree.
Yeah, but
nowadays they're getting more into hiring based off of experience, which they should have been doing.
You're right, but here's the thing. My mentality is that's what he just described. School teaches you how to be a worker, not how to be an owner.
Yeah.
And I'm more so encouraging owning, even if you got to work to own, but ultimately owning, because all that degree is to give you a job, like to help you get a better job, or a raise, more accolades. But I'm like, when I look at the people who own it, I'm like, if they can do it, why can't I? And being in the entertainment industry, I got even more of it, because I look at people that I put on. I look at people who, you got to realize the thing that I just said, as far as thinking, there are people who have these jobs, but I didn't understand my value. I was more valuable as an artist, as a creator, because content is what's valuable. Creation is what's valuable. And once you have and understand that, and you got revenue, you can hire everybody else to do everything else.
Brother, let me jump in there on you on that. I'm gonna tell you something. Hindsight is a motherfucker. I'm gonna say it just like that. I'll tell you, you got a whole agency by yourself. What you just said on how to get the young mind to dab into their knowledge and creative capacity. You have that type of life experience, beautifully animated. You have a perfect story, but you and your daughter both being artists together on the same platform. That shit a rock like a mother. All mothers and daughters, that's you and her getting that YouTube dollar, and y'all doing a passion and a love. Because see, you had a love for it. But like you said, you listen to other people steal your joy. But you still got it. Take it now.
I'll tell you even further. If we're going to go biblical, you buried your blessings instead of multiplying them. That old story, that old adage that they use, where the Lord gave everybody talents. 1 talent, 5 talents, 10 talents. And the one with the 1 talent buried it and said, I was trying to secure it Of course, I'm not quoting, I'm paraphrasing. Absolutely. That's what we're talking about.
Don't be showing me
That,
that, man. I don't want to
that,
see that. That's supposed to be your whole background. They're all your
that,
creations. I don't
that
want to see
woo, you ain't never lie. That should be
that.
your whole background.
Everything y'all got should be your whole all over every wall in the house. Shit.
Yep. You saw what I was just doing. Hey, this shirt. I'm trying to show the shirt. Hey, here's the bottle.
Yeah.
Don't bury your blessings. Don't bury your talents.
No, don't.
And that's a God given talent. You're muted again, Bass.
And mute button is kicking our asses tonight.
No, I'm still gonna. Well, I had this weird background noise, so I had to keep on muting my mic. But yeah, no, I'm still gonna get into my artwork.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And,
So guys,
and I encourage it, and I'm doing it as well. When you said that earlier, you should go out there. That's something that I already do. I just, even when it comes to this content, you'll hear me say rhymes every once in a while, just because it's fitting. And I also know it's entertaining. And so instead of always just speaking the same talking points that everybody is so used to, I creatively have come up with ways to express them so that it can be a little bit more, one, encouraging, and two, less personal. Because when I say them directly, for some reason, I get
Take
people
it personal,
take
don't
offense. Right? They
they?
take it. They hate. I'm hated. I'm
People
hated.
are quick to be offended, though. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem most people have, or they are quick to be offended, quick to be in their feelings. Yeah.
In fairness, what you're saying and what is true, what they don't always recognize it is that they're triggered easily. We all are triggered easily
Yeah.
because we have unrecognized and a lot of times unhealed trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes up, something comes up that triggers it, we automatically respond, and it's just we don't even recognize it often. I know I've done it several times, and I had to reflect, like, wow, I got out of my emotion. I was all in my emotions there, but it was something I had to go further and say, what triggered it?
Right.
See, that's why I can recognize it in other people and be like, that's a personal problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are times where I can recognize, because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I've been like, same thing with y'all said, like, what they mean by that and stuff like that. And then it's like, okay, hold up. This, going through everything with my mind, whatever. And then it's like, no, that's my personal issue.
Yeah. I learned that as a kid. That's how I was able to sort of navigate away from certain stuff where people would try to pull me into stuff. I learned that as a kid through my father, through his lack of, because my father was an alcoholic, but I didn't go around moping about my father being an alcoholic. I used to see him, but he worked every day. He gave me everything I needed, but that was his struggle. My father's father was a pastor for 35 years, pastored 2 churches, but he never came to see me. And I used to be looking then. I saw my father, so I was 8, 9, 10, looking at the world like, I'm gonna follow my own path. I'm gonna respect old ladies because I had a big thing for older ladies because the '60s woman. I was born in the late '60s, but in the '70s I understood the brick house. The brick house, I understood that. I learned to respect ladies. I learned, and I accepted who I was. I was a light skinned dude. I thought I was handsome. People used to tell me I had big lips. Yes, I had all that. I embraced who I was, and I didn't own other people's hurt. And I took it around the world. I'm telling you, it took me around the world just respecting people, places, things, being open to learn new stuff. You know what I'm saying? And not accept. You couldn't talk. If you talk, you could joke on me, but you couldn't talk about me like I ain't gonna do shit in my life. No, we'd have to fight that out. But then I would have stopped talking to you. We would have never been friends again. That was me. But I always looked out for the handicapped since I was a kid. I was always like that type. My mother taught me that. My father taught me that. And I don't understand this new American way. It's hard for me to take.
I have
The
a question.
disrespect, and the bullying,
Yeah, I wouldn't have made it back then. I'd have been
right?
fighting.
I have a question, Trey.
Yeah.
You said your father was an alcoholic. Was he in the Vietnam War?
He was Vietnam era. He was the only son, so
Oh,
he was Vietnam era. You know,
okay.
but he worked hard. And my father was the realest person I knew. That's why when I came outside that house, and it was 7 of us, 7 children. I had 2 older sisters, 3 younger, me and a brother. I was the middle child. So when after seeing how my father talked, because my father used to curse like a motherfucker, shit, drunk. But then when he get drunk around me, he be crying in my fucking lap and shit. I'm like, you know what I'm saying, dude, what the fuck? You know, I used to look at that because I used to talk to him by the time I was a teen. I'd be like, Daddy, man, you gotta cut that stupid shit out. You right, son. You right. Come on, man. That's how I used to talk to my daddy.
Yeah.
Like, but so when it came to other people, he told me respect people, make sure people respect you, work hard. That's all he used to talk about. Love family, do this, and that's how I tried to model my life. And it
Right.
helped me when I communicated with guys. I was a guys like me, some girls like me, some girls didn't. I ain't focused on the ones that didn't. I played sports. I was all state football, got scholarships. I was all district basketball. Went to college. That shit didn't work. Joined the military, got out, went back to college. Had kids, baby daddy. I done did it all, man. And I still worked hard. And I tried to help other people who was less fortunate to get to a better place. I worked in Chicago for 17 years, man, walking the south side and the west side in the street and saved thousands of young men and women. My name is all up through Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And I know the gift, what I was giving them is paying off. I used to tell them, y'all gonna make me a millionaire. They used to be like, how's that? Because y'all gonna go out into the world, y'all gonna do great shit. Do great things. And when y'all get to that place, my life will be fulfilled. And I'm telling you, at 55, I looked in that motherfucker one day. You know how you be going to check. I was like, oh, I can retire. I ain't got to do shit. Nothing. Me and my wife, we got ours. Whatever they say you need, plus that's growing. So when the next inflation, that's going to be going into that. So, you know, this hard work. That's all I can look at it.
Well, I want to say one thing. Salute to you. You mentioned going out in the community, South and West Side, and knowing about Chicago, I know what that means and what that symbolizes. So again, salute.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked about your dad is because I realized that a lot of youth in that era, they were going through war. So a lot of between segregation, racism, and the war, it lent to a lot of the young folks having to resort to different ways to cope with a lot of the pressures and circumstances that was going on. And when I say pressure, I'm even speaking peer pressure, because even if he wasn't, he had all his friends who made it back, who came back and was like, yo, we got to have a drink, because that became their routine.
He had 2 friends die of alcoholism when I was before my 9th grade year in high school. He had 2 friends. But my brother, he was a spoiled kid. You know, my father lived pretty good as a kid. Mm-hmm. It's just that, you know, he was an all-state. You know, this is my last thing. I went to his old high school my senior year. My sister went to the high school he graduated from. I went to his old high school my senior year playing basketball. Last game of the season. I'm in the locker room getting dressed. I was a little nosy eyeball kid. I like to look around. I look up. I see a fucking life-size mural of my father in the fucking locker room. It was so big.
Wow.
We went up the wall and tilted over into the ceiling. That's how big that motherfucker was.
Wow.
I ran home after that game. I said, man, why didn't you tell me these stories? Well, look. I'm like, man, you supposed to tell me all this shit you did right here in the hometown and shit. Because he never told me about it.
Right.
Never he was humble, man. And it just, I have more respect for him. Like, damn, man, you did all this shit, man. You didn't even say nothing, man. You know.
That's
like,
wonderful.
Shit.
Salute to your pops as well.
He just passed away too, man.
My condolences.
80 years old, man, strong.
Blessed had him that long. My condolences.
My father had 8 heart attacks and 2 strokes and cancer.
Wow.
Whew. He had all that. He survived all that shit.
Strong man there. Strong man. Salute to him. Now, I want to say one thing, Roman. I want to clarify. I'm not advocating against education. As a matter of fact, I embrace it and I enjoy it. I just think intentionally pursue it. Don't just pursue it because you're told to. Don't just pursue it because, if you want to be a doctor, you need to pursue it. So have intentions on your pursuit as opposed to just doing it because you quote unquote don't even realize why you want to do it. And also because I'm a creative, I've had a lot of different conversations and debates with educators who look down on creatives and creators look down on educators. And I'm the liaison to say both are necessary. Both are respectable. And you need to stop looking down on one another and embrace your similarities as opposed to your differences. Don't call a person a rapper ignorant just because you can't listen to his music, because he was wise enough to go ahead and capitalize on it in ways that in an American system, you might not have been able to capitalize. So you have to at least respect that aspect. And what you've done and devoted your time and energy when we talk about work ethic, y'all just put your work ethic in different places. But the similarity is that y'all both have work ethic that helps you succeed. Their work ethic they put into their music, their instrument, whatever, or their basketball, their sports, that they put their energy into that, while you might have put yours into books and school and things of that nature and learning. Combined is when we have great success together, because there's your creative efforts are only complemented by their educational efforts when necessary, because without your creative efforts, they wouldn't have a contract to read, and without the contract to read, without them reading your contract, you might get a bunk deal. So we got to work with one another, understand and respect the qualities of one another in order to grow further. And I think that's something that I advocate now. So I just wanted to be sure that you knew I wasn't downing education whatsoever, but I am emphasizing knowledge, because part of knowledge is understanding why you're getting education.
I would also say that because there's people watching the show and listening, right? So if you're going to school, they assign you a counselor, right? A school counselor, college counselor, whatever. Don't just stick with that one. Like, I would say go find another counselor, whatever, and get a second opinion of your what do you call it? Your plan, your career plan, or your educational plan. Huh?
Speak to an advisor.
Right.
Whichever department you're interested in.
Right. My first time at going to college, I was assigned a advisor, a counselor, sorry, and he made it like I could get a certificate and work on my degree at the same time. But there were certain classes that the certificate needed that I didn't need for my degree. So in the end, and I was on financial aid. So my financial aid got messed up because I had taken extra classes that took out extra money from my financial aid. So I don't have any money for my bachelor's degree, right? So yeah, I was misguided. I think it was purposely to get money for the school. So don't just just because you being assigned a person doesn't mean they're looking out for your best interest just because they work at the college. A lot of people are just in it for the money for the school. I don't know. I don't know if they get what commission on it or what.
That's funny. Well, they might not, but it's keeping their job. And that they have to have somebody to talk to. They have to have some things to do in order to keep their job. One, but the other reason why I emphasize knowledge and having the knowledge to know why you're getting an education is because if we look at, we was just talking about billionaires and things of that nature. That's what they send their kids to school for from the inception. That's why they go to private school. Private schools are not teaching them how to be workers. It's teaching them how to run businesses. It's teaching them how to be a significant role in a business.
Yeah.
And in our community, we don't always do that because we don't know to do that. And so that's what I emphasize more so than anything is understand what you're doing. And from a young age, understand your value. Understand right now, all those kids that you were saying, those teenagers that do the work, you understood their value and you helped them understand their value, that they were capable of actually doing work that a lot of people get paid a lot of money for. As a teenager, they were capable of it. You don't need to be a certain age to do it. You just sometimes legally can't do it, but that don't mean that you can't know how to do it.
Well said, guys. Well said. So I want to thank everybody tonight for coming in. It was a great show, in my opinion. My opinion wouldn't matter anyway. But seriously, it was a great show. Thank you again, guys. It was bottom of my heart. Thank you. So, except guys, hard work does pay off. It always will. You can keep your gifts. I want hard work. That is always gonna come out on top, no matter what. And you know where I learned that from? You guys are gonna laugh at me. Kyle Green, one of the best bodybuilders in a long time. I met him personally. Great guy. So except that, guys, schedule update. Friday, like always, I'm going to be on BMU channel trying to stir some shit up with him. On Saturday, what is Saturday? That's a good question. Oh yeah, we're talking about the different styles of martial arts. Me and Black David are probably going to get in some arguments. So I might need to get a referee this week. So we know I'm going to win. So he needs to just shut the fuck up and just take the punishment. Except that, guys, as always, I am Grooming Reviews, the Ghost of Sparta. Stay